Anxiety is not a lack of control, it's excess energy that hasn't been channeled. It may seem paradoxical, but the tension you fear can be converted into creative fuel faster than you think. The quantum field responds directly to the vibrations of your mind, and anxiety is merely a vibrational code asking to be translated. What experts call a symptom, the ancients called an awakening. Today, I'm going to show you how to turn this whirlwind into a point of immediate power. Have you ever noticed how anxiety never knocks on the door? It simply enters, settles in, and takes up space inside you. It doesn't ask for permission, doesn't give a warning. It shows up in the middle of an important meeting, in the silence of the night, or when you're about to make a life-changing decision. It's like an invisible electric current running through your body, speeding up every thought. This energy isn't a lack of control, as many say. It's an excess of unchanneled vibrational power. Imagine a car with the engine revving at full power but with no gear engaged. The sound is loud, the engine heats up, but the car doesn't move. That's anxiety, creative fuel without direction. And here's the hidden detail. Your subconscious mind records each anxious episode as an internal mark. Over time, this internal programming creates a self-image that you are anxious. It becomes your identity. And as the law of attraction teaches, the energetic field responds exactly to who you believe you are. That's why you often attract repetitive situations, delays, pressure, an overload of commitments. It's not bad luck. It's just the quantum field mirroring your misaligned high vibration. A vibrational noise that stays active because it hasn't yet been translated. Now think with me. What if anxiety were a code? What if behind that agitation, there were a hidden message? What seems like a symptom might actually be a signal announcing a timeline jump. That's the paradox. What seems like weakness might be the sign of awakening. It might sound strange. I know, but the ancients already saw this differently. Where we see illness today, they saw energy. Where we use medication today, they used rituals. What they called awakening, we call anxiety. The difference is that no one taught you to look within. The system chose to convince you that anxiety is only the enemy, and when you believe that, you start to run from it. But what you run from grows. What you face with awareness transforms. Imagine a dammed river. The water isn't the problem. It's abundance. The problem is the lack of flow. Anxiety is exactly that vibrational blockage. Excess energy with no outlet. But when you open the flow, that water powers turbines, generates light, feeds cities. The same happens inside you. That whirlwind that feels suffocating is the same potential that can raise your vibration. It's the fuel to attract abundance, shift realities, and create new experiences. All you need is to learn how to channel it. That's the invisible problem. You were taught to fight something that was born to be translated. As long as you believe anxiety is a flaw, you'll stay stuck in a repetitive cycle. But the moment you see it as a vibrational code, your self-image changes. And when identity changes, everything changes. Because your internal programming stops saying, "I'm anxious," and starts affirming, "I'm the alchemist of my energy." And when you reprogram your mind at that level, anxiety stops being a burden and becomes the gateway to a new reality. At its core, anxiety is just excess. Energy asking to be translated. The same excess that, when misdirected, becomes insomnia and tension. But when well channeled, turns into clarity, action, and the power of quantum manifestation. And you know what's interesting? You've experienced this before. Remember that time you were nervous before a test or a presentation. And when you used that energy, you pulled through. Anxiety has been your ally before. You just didn't realize it. That's the core point. It was never your enemy. It's just raw energy. And like all energy, you can choose whether it will be destructive or creative. What determines that is not the emotion itself, but how you deal with it. If this line of thought is already bringing you clarity, Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, each video serves as a reminder that you can let go and receive, trust the universe, and use your own vibrations to collapse the reality you desire. What if I told you that anxiety doesn't need to be controlled, but translated? This simple shift changes the way you relate to it. Instead of fighting a battle, you begin to see it as decoding a forgotten language. Because think about it. Anxiety is just excess vibrational energy with no outlet. It's as if the universe is sending you more fuel than you're used to using. And instead of accelerating, you hit the brakes. The car shakes but doesn't move. The new perspective is clear. Anxiety is a signal that there's a flow ready to be used. What you feel as tension is simply the body saying, there's too much energy to store. And if that energy is guided, you can raise your vibration instantly. This logic is already present in everyday examples. Think of an artist before stepping. On stage, the butterflies, the racing heart, the shortness of breath, that's anxiety. But instead of fleeing, they transform it into magnetic presence. Now compare that to someone who represses it. That same energy turns into cold sweat, avoidance, freezing. It's not the anxiety that changed, it's how they dealt with it. That's the reframe. Don't fight, channel. The ancients called this inner fire. In Sanskrit, Agni. When used without direction, it burned. When guided, it illuminated. Anxiety is your inner fire. You can let it burn your calm, or you can use it to light your path. And here's where the law of attraction comes in. When you see anxiety as creative energy, you shift your vibrational frequency. Your energetic field stops emitting resistance and starts emitting power. That collapses different realities. Think, how many times were you anxious, but it gave you courage? The job interview, the hard conversation, the decision that changed everything. Anxiety didn't paralyze you. It moved you. That's the timeline jump, using the same energy that once felt like a prison as creative fuel. It's the identity shift that transforms symptoms into signals, and signals into portals. This is the new perspective. Anxiety isn't a flaw, it's excess creative power waiting for direction. Have you ever stopped to think that anxiety can be explained both by modern science and ancient spiritual traditions? On one side, quantum physics shows that everything is energy and responds to observation. On the other, the ancients spoke of subtle forces like prana or chi that needed direction. The convergence is clear. Anxiety isn't a lack, but an excess of energy vibrating in misaligned patterns. In quantum physics, electrons exist in the state of probability until observed. This means your vibrational frequency directly influences the collapse of reality. When your subconscious mind vibrates in anxiety, you're simply collapsing chaotic scenarios, because that's the information the quantum field receives. Now think, what if you could reprogram your mind so that this same energy was collapsed into abundance? It's not about eliminating anxiety, but using it as fuel for quantum manifestation. That's the power of realizing that tension is just a vibrational state waiting for conscious translation. Neuroscience reinforces this point. Studies show that anxiety activates areas of the brain responsible for attention and creativity. It's as if the brain is saying, there's more energy here, use it. The problem arises when you don't channel it, and that energy becomes internal noise. But when you breathe and focus, that same neural circuitry transforms into expanded focus. It's proof that anxiety can be redirected. The same impulse that could freeze you can spark brilliant solutions. That's the reality shift that begins within the body. Epigenetics goes even further. It shows that prolonged emotions alter gene expression. Chronic fear can activate genes linked to inflammation and disease. Meanwhile, emotions of trust and energetic alignment activate genes for regeneration and vitality. In other words, your elevated vibration literally reprograms your biology. This connects directly with the idea of identity shift. Because by transforming your anxiety into confidence, you're not just changing how you feel, you're changing the way your body writes its own story. It's science confirming spirituality. In biophysics, there's something fascinating. Each cell emits biophotons, tiny particles of light. In anxious states, these biophotons become chaotic, emitting disordered patterns. But when you enter coherence through breath or meditation, those light patterns align, creating harmony in your energetic field. This means you are literally a being of light capable of reorganizing your own energetic emission. When you choose to raise your vibration, your body becomes a coherent transmitter. This coherence is perceived by the quantum field, which responds by reorganizing the reality around you. Now let's turn to the ancients. The Egyptians represented vital energy as a serpent coiled at the base of the spine. When awakened without control, it caused chaos, but when guided, it brought enlightenment. This metaphor is perfect for understanding anxiety, raw energy that can be chaotic or creative depending on direction. In the Vedas, this energy was called prana. When the prana flow was blocked, emotional imbalance arose. Today we call it anxiety. But when prana flowed freely, the being connected with the cosmos. The only difference was opening internal channels for that energy to follow its course. The Kabbalah spoke of the hidden light, a powerful energy that, if not revealed, turned into shadow. When brought into consciousness, it transformed into abundance. Your anxiety is that hidden light. When repressed, it suffocates. When translated, it illuminates your self-image and expands your energetic field. This convergence shows that science and spirituality are saying the same thing in different languages. Both point to the fact that you are not a victim of anxiety. You are a creator, the bearer of intense energy that needs to be channeled to align with the universe. The point is, you can choose. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's intensely felt. So if you interpret anxiety as failure, you create failure. If you interpret it as power, you create power. This is the essence of the law of attraction in action. Every anxious thought is a command to the quantum field. Every time you resist, you send chaotic signals. Every time you breathe and release, you send signals of trust in the universe. The field doesn't judge, it simply responds. When you learn to collapse reality consciously, you realize anxiety was just a misunderstood opportunity. A high vibration asking for translation. A code of energy that just needed awareness to be revealed as a resource. And the beauty of it is that it doesn't require anything outside of you. No external tools, just awareness. Because both science and spirituality say the same thing. The power is already in your energy field. So every time you feel anxiety, remember, you are standing before a portal. You can choose to release and receive, to trust the universe and reprogram your mind. That choice is the line that separates confinement from expansion. And that's exactly what takes us to the next step. It's not enough to understand, it's time to feel the transformation happening in your body. Close your eyes for a moment and allow yourself to connect with your body. Take a deep breath, slowly inhaling through your nose and exhaling gently through your mouth. Notice the fresh air entering, filling your lungs, and then leaving warmer, carrying away some of the tension you've been holding. This simple observation already shifts your vibrational frequency. Now, place your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Each pulse is like a universal drum marking the rhythm of your existence. Don't try to change anything, just follow along. This internal sound is proof that you are connected to the energetic field of life. Imagine anxiety as a sphere of vibrant light in the center of your chest. It's not dark as you've always thought. It shines, pulses, emits energy. Visualize this light growing and gently expanding, filling the space around your heart. Repeat mentally, I choose to transform this elevated vibration. into energetic alignment. Let each word resonate within you. This phrase works like a quantum code, a key that reorganizes your internal programming the moment it's felt. As you continue breathing, visualize the sphere of energy expanding through your body. It rises through your spine, reaches your head, and illuminates your thoughts. Imagine each anxious idea being reorganized into clarity and creativity. Now, bring this energy to your shoulders and arms. Feel as if a gentle force is pushing them forward, inviting you to take action. See your hands filling with this light, ready to write, create, touch, decide. It's your self-image adjusting to a new identity. Bring the visualization down to your abdomen. Notice how the energy turns into warmth. That warmth is movement. It's as if your body is reminding you, you're not stuck. You can walk, dance, act. Anxiety becomes life force. Now move the energy down into your legs. Imagine each muscle activating, as if ready to walk toward a new reality. This strength connects you to the earth, anchors you in the present. You're not lost, you're grounded. Take another deep breath. Feel this light filling every cell, as if reorganizing your DNA. That's what epigenetics already shows. Emotions and vibrational frequencies change your biology. You're literally reprogramming yourself. Stay in this state of observation for a few moments. Notice how anxiety no longer feels like an enemy. It has become fuel, presence, clarity. You didn't have to fight anything, just release and receive. It's your body responding to the subconscious mind. Gently expand your awareness to the environment around you, but keep your eyes closed. Notice the sounds, the air temperature, the small details. Everything remains the same, but you've already changed. This is the timeline shift happening within you. Now slowly open your eyes. Look around at the space you're in. Maybe nothing seems different, but inside you know, your vibrational frequency has changed. The energy field has reorganized. This is living proof that you can collapse reality at any moment. Carry this practice with you. Do it every time anxiety arises. Instead of running, observe. Instead of repressing, translate. Each time you repeat it, you strengthen the new internal programming. This is the seed of a real identity shift. The beauty of this exercise is that it requires no effort, only awareness. It reminds you that anxiety is not an end, but a portal. A vibrational code, asking to be translated. And every time you choose to channel it, you're one step closer to attracting abundance and trusting the universe. And now that you've felt this in your body, it's time to learn the complete technique that organizes this energy into simple, practical steps. I want to introduce you to a practice that can completely change your relationship with anxiety. I call it the quantum channeling technique for anxiety. This method was born from the union of science, spirituality, and lived experience. It's not a distant theory, but a simple step-by-step process for turning tension into creative power. The technique has 3 fundamental steps: acknowledge, breathe, and direct. They're like gears that, when used together, create instant, energetic alignment. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of an anxiety attack or just feeling a mild discomfort. This process can be applied in any situation. The first step is acknowledge. When anxiety arises, instead of running from it, simply say mentally, "I see you." This simple act already disrupts the subconscious mind's internal programming. It's like turning on the light in a dark room. What seemed scary is revealed as just energy waiting to be translated. By acknowledging, you bring anxiety out of the shadows. It stops being a ghost and becomes conscious data. This moment is crucial because the law of attraction responds to how you interpret your emotions. If you see them as a flaw, you attract more failure. If you see them as energy, you create space. To attract abundance, the second step is rhythmic breathing. Place one hand on your chest, feel your heartbeat, and breathe in this rhythm. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4. This cycle regulates your nervous system and creates coherence in your energy field. It's as if you're giving your body a new vibrational command. Conscious breathing reorganizes the biophotons your body emits. In anxious states, they're chaotic. When you breathe in rhythm, they align. It's science and spirituality working together. By breathing, you literally raise your vibration. Repeat the breathing cycle 3 times. With each repetition, feel anxiety transforming into clarity. This step is like wiping a foggy mirror. Suddenly, you begin to see your true self-image reflected without distortion. The 3rd step is direct. This is the most powerful step because it turns energy into action. Choose something small but concrete. Write down 3 ideas. Tidy up a space in your home. Go for a 5-minute walk, or call someone important. The goal is to use the elevated vibration as creative momentum. To direct means to give purpose to excess energy. If you hold it in, it becomes tension. If you act, it becomes movement. This is the moment you collapse reality, because you're turning vibration into tangible experience. With practice, this process becomes natural. With each episode of anxiety, you automatically acknowledge, breathe, and direct. It's like training a muscle. The more you repeat it, the easier it gets. That repetition reprograms your subconscious mind, and that's where true identity transformation happens. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of anxiety and begin to recognize yourself as its alchemist. With each practice, your self-image strengthens. As someone capable of turning tension into creativity, this technique also expands your energy of worthiness. Because when you act creatively instead of freezing, you send a message to the universe. I trust. I release and receive. That vibrational message opens the space to attract abundance with ease. The most beautiful part is that the technique doesn't require any external tools. No incense, no mantras, no hours of meditation. Just 3 simple steps that fit into any routine. It's proof that everything you need to raise your vibration is already within you. And remember, every time you apply this technique, you're not just shifting your momentary state, you're creating a new timeline. You're literally building a reality where anxiety becomes fuel, not a prison. This method is simple but deep. When practiced consistently, it transforms not only you, but the collective as well. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Each time you transform your anxiety into creative power, something much greater happens than just personal relief. You send a new vibrational frequency into the collective field, and that energy becomes accessible to others. It's like throwing a stone into a lake. The ripples expand far beyond the point of contact. Science calls this morphogenetic fields, a theory that shows how new individual behaviors create patterns that then spread to the entire group. When you reprogram your mind, you're also helping humanity reprogram itself. What begins as a private practice becomes a global shift. Think of your family. How many times have you noticed that anxiety and fears seem to pass from generation to generation? This happens because emotional patterns are transmitted not only through words, but through the energy field. When you break the cycle, you make space for your descendants to live a new reality. This is the ancestral impact of your practice. By channeling anxiety, you honor the legacy of those who came before and create a different legacy for those who will come after. You're not just changing your self-image, you're transforming an entire lineage. In the archetypal dimension, you embody universal figures. With each practice, you become the warrior who turns fear into strength, the sage who turns chaos into clarity, the creator who turns anxiety into manifestation. These archetypes activate within you and resonate in the collective. History shows this clearly. Leaders, artists, scientists, all had moments of intense anxiety before major breakthroughs. But by channeling that energy, they created movements that changed the world. Their anxiety became collective fuel. Now imagine millions of people doing the same at the same time. Imagine a planet where anxiety is no longer a prison, but a creative portal. The global vibration would rise, shifting our collective reality. That would be humanity's true quantum leap. This process is already underway. More and more people are choosing to trust the universe instead of resisting. They're releasing and receiving instead of fighting themselves. You are part of that movement. Your personal practice is a cell in that larger body. This also explains why you sometimes feel anxiety that doesn't seem to be yours. It's as if you're picking up vibrations from the collective. And when you channel it, you're not just healing yourself, you're helping to balance the energetic field of humanity. It's as if each person who channels their anxiety is lighting a candle. One candle lights a small space, but thousands of candles create a new dawn. That dawn is the transition of ages we're stepping into. In spiritual traditions, this moment is seen as a collective awakening, the end of the age of fear and the beginning of the age of trust. You don't need to wait for great leaders or external signs. The awakening starts with you, in each conscious breath. By applying the technique, you activate an identity shift that inspires others without saying a word. Your energy field speaks for you. People around you sense that something has changed, even if they don't know what it is. That's vibrational coherence in action. The collective needs this movement. The more individuals raise their vibration, the more unsustainable fear-based systems become. The new reality begins collapsing from the inside out, naturally. That's the beauty of the process. Each simple practice, done in silence, becomes a seed of planetary transformation. You are part of something much greater, even if it feels like you're just breathing alone in your room. And with this expanded awareness, we arrive at the final moment, the call for you to embrace your choice and anchor this practice as a part of your life. Now it's time to turn this knowledge into a decision. Take a deep breath and mentally repeat, I channel my energy into creative power. This phrase is not just words, it's a vibrational code that reorganizes your subconscious mind and anchors your new identity. Feel the weight of these words vibrating within you. Notice how your body responds as you make this commitment. It's as if every cell receives the message that anxiety is no longer a prison, but a portal. This is the beginning of a tangible shift in reality. You're not just repeating a phrase. You're sealing a pact with yourself. You're declaring to the quantum field, I choose to release and receive. I choose to trust the universe. I choose to attract abundance from my energy of worthiness. This choice may seem simple, but it's powerful. Because every decision you make, every thought you nurture, is collapsing a timeline. Today, you decide which version of yourself will manifest, the one who runs from anxiety or the one who dances with it. From now on, every time anxiety arises, you'll have a path. No more running, no more resistance, but the conscious practice of channeling. This is the true timeline leap that separates the old from the new. And remember, you are not alone. There are thousands of people around the world awakening to this same truth. Each one channeling their anxiety is helping raise the collective vibration. You are part of a movement that is silent, yet massive. This practice is a rite of passage. It's like crossing an invisible bridge from fear to trust, from chaos to energetic alignment, from tension to creation. You've already taken the first step just by hearing and feeling these words. Let this message echo within you like an internal bell. Every time the mind tries to pull you back into old patterns, remember that sound. Remember you already have a method, already have awareness, already hold the key to reprogram your mind. You don't have to wait for tomorrow. The transformation begins now. Every conscious breath, every time you choose to observe instead of fight, is a victory. It's a confirmation to the universe that you're ready to raise your vibration. Imagine how different your life will be when you apply this every day. Imagine waking up knowing that even your anxiety is an ally. Imagine living in constant energetic alignment, attracting abundance effortlessly, simply because you trust the flow of life. And that future isn't a distant dream. It's just the sum of the choices you make today. Simple choices like breathing, acknowledging, directing. Each one rewrites your internal programming and strengthens your self-image as a conscious creator. So write in the comments, I channel my energy into creative power. It's not just engagement, it's anchoring. It's like engraving in the collective field the commitment you've just made. It's a silent yet powerful right. And if you want to continue expanding this awareness, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every video here is a portal, a key to raise your vibration and align even more deeply with the flow of the universe. The field is already responding. The energy is already here. The moment is now. Choose to dance with anxiety. Choose to trust. Choose to create. Because the real power has always been within you. And when that phrase echoes in your mind again, I channel my energy into creative power, know that it's the reminder that you are already the alchemist of your own reality.